Hello and welcome to the Ravensburger Games YouTube channel. My name is Sam and today we are going to be talking about my top 5 board games for kids. And hopefully one of these games might pique your interest in order for you to check out. We've also got a giveaway going on, so if you are watching this close to the release of the video, definitely stay till the end to figure out how to join in on winning a bundle of our games. But let's waste no more time. We are going to jump right in with Snails Pace Race. Now, the first game I want to talk to you about is Snails Pace Race. This is an adorable little game, a racing game really, where you're going to have 6 different colored snails on a board, and you're going to have 2 dice that are going to have the colors of those snails on them. And starting with the youngest player, they're going to roll the dice and then move up the snails that match the color. Now, everyone around the table is going to try to guess which snail is going to be the first place, and also which snail is going to be in last place, which I think is a hilarious nod to the fact that they are snails. You're going to keep rolling these dice, pushing up these snails until all of the snails have crossed the finish line. And the player that guessed which snail was going to cross the finish line first, and the player that guessed which snail was going to cross the finish line last, both share the victory. The cool thing about this game though also is that 1, it's super simple, but 2, you can actually change the rules and house roll it any way you want. You can make it to where just the first place player wins or just the last snail wins. There are so many creative ideas that you can come up with on ways to change it because it's such a simple and easily approachable game. I also think this one works really well because every player is active even when it's not their turn. Kids are interested to see who is going to move up on the racetrack, which color is it going to be the one that they want, and then they get excited when it's their turn to roll the dice and be able to move the snails up. Snails Pace Race is a great option to add to your collection if you're looking for a racing game for any age. The next game that I want to talk about is Funny Bunny. Now this one is absolutely hilarious. You are playing bunnies trying to go up this hill to get to the carrot, and if you are the first person to have one of your colored bunnies make it to the carrot, you will win the game. Turns are going to be so simple. You're going to draw a card, kind of Candyland style, and then do what the card allows you to do. Oftentimes it's going to be 1 movement, 2 movement, or 3 movement around and spiraling up that hill towards the carrot. But there's also another card that you might draw, which is a click card or a carrot card, and what it allows you to do is to turn the carrot, and when you do that, all of these functions on this hill will actually randomly activate. Well, some of them will be random, but some of them happen every time. You might have the hedgehog, which is going to push off the bunny that's there, and then that bunny has to restart from the bottom. It also shifts the paths themselves, so sometimes a hole will open up and your bunny might fall down. There's also a drawbridge that goes up and down, and when it's up, your bunny cannot pass that spot. There's even a fence that will randomly swing open and potentially knock your bunny down the hill some ways. There's all of these fun little play features that happen, and I just realize that it's very exciting for kids to spin the carrot and see what happens. Essentially, this is just a deck of cards, and on the front of those cards is going to be beautiful artwork, and then on the back of those cards are going to be items that you are going to be trying to find. Every player is going to be drawing a hand of cards, and what will happen is somebody will flip over a card to an item side in a draw deck. They're going to be looking through their hand of cards, trying to find the item that was shown on the card just flipped. If they're able to find it, they can play their card face down, and then that will show the new item that players are going to be trying to look for in their hand of cards. It's very rare that a player doesn't find an item, but if it ever does come up, you're just going to flip over another card on the top of the deck. But what I love about this game is that players are only looking at that hand of cards that they have in front of them, and so that keeps it a lot easier than some huge piece of artwork where they're trying to find the items. Having all of those small items can be daunting on a giant paper, but having them on just a couple of cards can be really helpful to kind of learn searching for these items. There are dozens of items in this deck, and all of these card pieces are unique artwork, so some amazing artwork here. It's also really fun to lay out all the cards and try to make a picture with them. There are also other versions of this game. I'm showing off the World of Dinosaurs version, but there's other versions like the Disney version that we have to offer, so definitely check those out if you are interested. Bugs in the Kitchen is hilarious, frantic fun, where you are going to have a kitchen that has all of these little utensils. You're going to have forks, spoons, and knives, and you're also going to have this adorable little nanotech bug. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to actually get the bug inside of your space on the game board. There's going to be 4 spaces in the 4 corners. And on your turn, all you're going to do is roll a dice and then move and shift one of the utensils that matches the dice roll. There's going to be a question mark symbol that you're going to see a lot. That means that you can move any of the utensils and shift it to a different direction, and you're trying to guide the bug to get to your side. There's multiple different ways that you can play this, though. You can play it to where you're trying to avoid having the bug get to your side, so you're trying to get the bug to the other players. But one thing that I love about this game is that it's very fast-paced and very frantic. You're going to be rolling the dice, and you're going to be like, okay, take the dice, and then they're going to roll them, and then shift a path, and then they're going to pass the dice and roll, and then shift another path, and you're just going to see the bug kind of going around everywhere. And it's really funny because sometimes the bug will kind of stay in one spot, and that makes it very, very exciting when it's not moving in a direction, but you don't know how much time you have left, so hurry up and pass those dice. Super, super simple game to play and teach, and what a fun feature to have in that little nanotech bug running around the board. It really does look like a bug. It's kind of creepy a little bit, but it is very fun, and I think kids will really love it. And the last game I'm going to share with you is basically hide and seek, the board game, but it's also a total, like an entire play set, and that's going to be Garden Heist. And when I saw this game set up on the table, it blew me away that this could fit in a box of this size. It's not that big, but the fact that it creates a giant house and you've got a full garden with all of these trees and little buildings, it's absolutely adorable what this game was able to achieve in such a sizable box. But Garden Heist, like I said, is kind of like hide and seek. You're going to have a player that's going to play the gardener, and then players that are going to be the raccoons, and that position will shift throughout the game at certain points. But essentially, you are trying to get your raccoons to the trash beside the house of the gardener. And the gardener is going to be behind that house with the blind covered. They can't see where the raccoons are going. And players are going to be placing their raccoons simultaneously at the very back of the garden to start off, and they're going to be behind one of the objects. Well, at certain points, once they've all placed, then the gardener is going to lift up that little latch, look through the house, and see if they can find any of the raccoons. They're going to take a guess. Is there a raccoon behind one of those objects? They might have seen it, or maybe they're making a guess. But the one thing that they have to keep in mind is that throughout the rounds, the raccoons have to move between the paths as they're making their way closer and closer towards the house. So they can use some deduction as to where they think the raccoons might be, especially with multiple players. It is such a fun game to play, and I think that all of the play functionality of it, with that big house being set up and being able to peek through, and also the nice chunky meeples and the nice chunky high quality cardboard pieces that are going to be making up the bushes and buildings. It is a really, really fun package that may just be the perfect thing for you and your family. But that is going to be all of the kids games I've got for you today. We've also got a giveaway going on, so if you are watching this close to the release time, the giveaway might still be going. Check the description down below. Go ahead and comment down below, what is your favorite game to play as a family? If you go ahead and comment that down below, you will already be enrolled in the giveaway. Also, thank you so much for watching this video. It has been a blast to share this time with you today. Bye-bye.